Hello everyone, welcome to another video here on the Marvelous Mat. My name is Michaelis, and on this video I want to solve the challenge that I gave on the last video. So the idea was to create a function that receives 2 days of the year as input in this format, and then the function should generate a vector with a list of all the days in between those 2 days. And it should also receive a third variable as input, in this case a boolean, that's true or false, that will be used to choose if the 2 days given as input should be included in the list. And then I gave a little example here to illustrate the idea. And then I said to refer to the previous video. So we are going to use the script from that video, and I'm not going through that again. I'm just going to get the script that basically we created a list of all the days of the year from January 1st until December 31st. And we are going to use that as a start. So I'm going to copy this, and we are going to use this inside our function. So we have it here now. We saw how to create a function, so we need to give a name, and let's call it list of days of year. And then we need to tell that it's a function, so we say function. And then here we put what we expect as input. So we are going to receive 2 days. So let's say day 1 and day 2. And also we need to include a third variable that's a boolean. And the variable will tell us if we need to include these 2 days in the list or not. So let's just call it include 1, 2. And there is just one option, or both are included or none of them. So it makes things a little simpler. So yeah, let's get this inside the function. And a nice thing about RStudio is that it's indentate for you the code, so it's alright with a little bit of space from the margin. It's very helpful when you are trying to read the code. And it's a good practice to always make sure you are indentating your code properly. So now what we are going to do is, the first thing, or at least for this, the way we are solving it, we need to generate the whole list with the 365 days, and we are going to go from that. So let's say the first thing the function will do will be generate this list with all the days. And now we need to find out the index that the days we received as input will have in this matrix. So let's see. If now let's start with a for e in 1 to 365. Now if day 1 is equal days of year I, and now if now this loop will run for the whole list, and when it finds that the day we received day one matches the day of one day of the list, it will get the index. So we know that the index of that day will be I. So we can let's create a variable here or actually two variables, index 1, and let's initialize it as 0, index 2, 0 as well. And now if it remains 0 in the end, we can use it as a way to know that there was something wrong with the input. So, okay. The other thing is we need to see if we should include this day in the list we are returning. So, if include 1 and 2, if it's true, we don't need to test anything. So if it's true, we will use index 1 equal I. Now, if it's false, we don't want to return this day. We want to start our list on the next day. So we need to make index 1 equal I plus 1. Okay. And then we can make the same thing for day 2. So we just change here, day 2. But now, okay, there's a mistake here. For day 2, we need to make -1 because we wanna stop on the day before, right? So I -1. Well, now we still need to do another test, and that is to check if our indexes are different than 0, because if they remain 0, it means that the day we received as input didn't match any of the days of the list. So we need to return an error message instead of returning a list. So let's see if index 1 or okay, yeah, equals 0 or index 2 equals 0. We can say return invalid input. And then if none of them are 0, then this won't be true. If only one of them is 0, then it will go inside this if, but only if both of them are different than 0, it will execute the else part, and then we can return our list of days of year. And that should be it. Let's execute our function now. Okay, we did something wrong. Let's see. Yeah, there's a equals sign missing here, and another equals sign missing here. Okay, hopefully that was all the mistakes. Yeah, well, eventually there is some mistakes that it won't show but hopefully we didn't do anything else wrong. So now let's just run our function. And so a list of days of year. Day 1, let's say March 4. Day 2, let's say April 7. And then let's include these days in the list. So let's execute. And yeah, there was another mistake. So here what we need to return is not our function. We were returning our function, so it was making error go crazy because the function was returning itself. But what we actually need to do is returning the days of the year, but not the entire list, just the ones between the two indexes that we found, index 1 and index 2. And yeah, that returned the right list. Now let's test. Let's say it's false. The only difference now should be that March 4 and April 7 shouldn't be included. Yeah, that worked. Now let's try a wrong day here. And let's see, invalid input. Yeah, okay. Seems to work out fine. Now, just to recapitulate what we did, we basically use the same script we had developed before to generate the list of days of the year. And then we are receiving as input for the function 2 days in a Boolean. And we are using these 2 days to find the index that represents them in the list of all the days of the year. And to determine which is the index, we run through the list of days of the year and see which day matches. And if none of these days, if the day used as input doesn't match any day of the year, then the index will remain 0 and we will print a error message. But if everything goes right, if the input is good, then it will give as an output the list we wanted. So that was it for this video. On the next videos, we are going to start to use some very interesting functions of RStudio to generate graphs. And we are going to see also some graphs and when we should use each one of them, like line charts, box plots, and other graphs. So I see you in the next videos. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, leave your like, and if you have any suggestion or any thing that we need to improve, also leave your comment. And I see you in the next video.